So I wanted to make another video revisiting Square Enix's Avengers game. I made a video back when they had their E3 presentation and they initially showed us the game. And I think my biggest critique with it was that they didn't show us any gameplay. Or I think they had bits of gameplay interspersed with the trailer that they showed, but I wanted a full gameplay demo. And they finally gave us that about a week ago. And I thought I'd just revisit it and talk about it. Yeah, so my initial reservations when it comes to an Avengers game is that I feel like if you're gonna try and make a game that, has to have gameplay for multiple different characters, really different characters, I feel like you're not really gonna be able to nail anyone's gameplay. And that's kind of the impression of what I got here. So I guess I'll just go through each character that we saw. So first, the gameplay demo starts off with Thor, and it's kind of it kind of looks like the latest God of War game. I didn't actually play that game because I don't own a PS4, but from what I see, it kind of looks similar-ish. But even just not having played God of War, it doesn't even look as satisfying as that. I don't know, because again, it's just this game that has to have gameplay for all these different characters, so you can't really fine tune the gameplay. At least that's what it looks like. So it just kind of looks like a brawler, just a third person action. I mean, it looked fine, it looked fun. But it just didn't really I don't know, it doesn't look as satisfying as in a Batman, in a Rocksteady Batman game. That combat is really just satisfying, That God of War combat looks really satisfying. This does not look as satisfying as that. A couple of cool little things that I thought was interesting was I like how you can throw his hammer, and so he threw his hammer and the hammer was pinning a guy up against the car, and after you can just leave the hammer there and then you can start just fisticuffing and punching guys. And I thought that was pretty interesting. It kind of looks like you'll be able to throw your hammer and then call it back at will. That's pretty interesting. There were some cool abilities, I guess, where you can summon lightning and summon wind and stuff. So, I mean, it looks fine, it looks fun, but it doesn't look amazing, I guess. And then that's kind of going to be a recurring theme. So, nearing the end of Thor's gameplay, then Iron Man comes in, and it's this weird... There was this weird thing where Iron Man just kind of shows up, and he's flying guys in the air, and then you're fighting guys on the ground. But there's not, there doesn't appear, at least not that they've shown, but there doesn't look like there's again, I'm sure that something like this is going to be in the game, but they didn't show any cooperation between Thor and Iron Man, so it was just kind of Iron Man's doing his own thing, and you can kind of see him sometimes appear on screen, and then Thor is doing his thing, but there was never anything where they would work together, maybe Thor would punch somebody in the air and then Iron Man shoots him with a repulsor blast. I don't know, some kind of combo. That wasn't really there, but then after that it transitions into Iron Man gameplay, and yeah, it's just so. And also I should mention, with the Thor gameplay, it was very linear, and you're just kind of going down a corridor. The corridor was made up of just cars on the sides that you couldn't get behind, so that was just very noticeable. And so yeah, then you go into Iron Man, and it appeared to be a sort of on rails type of thing where you're just flying and you're shooting guys, and that did not really look all that fun, to be honest. Again, I feel it's I feel if this were just an Iron Man game, then you would be able to fly around, you would have a big sort of area that you can fly around and shoot guys, and I feel they probably could have still done this here, but if I'm playing as Iron Man, I want to be able to fly around and have to have swarms of guys all around and have to shoot them down. But what they showed here, it was just Iron Man flying, and it looked like it was on rails because he never stopped, so he's just flying and he's shooting guys. and that just didn't look all that fun. Like what it really should have been, he should have just flown up into the air, I guess, and then have a bunch of guys with the jetpacks, just have them all around, and then you can actually like move around and shoot and stuff like that. I feel like that's what it should have been, but it really wasn't. But either way, you go do that, and then and then at some point, Fireman he lands on the bridge, and then you're fighting a bunch of guys on the bridge, and this is again just more of your sort of standard like third person action. You can punch guys, you can shoot them, and it looked fine. It looked completely fine. But, Iron Man, the gameplay's fine. Then it kind of transitions over to the Hulk, where, he's kind of like running. You have to, when you're playing as the Hulk, you're kind of running down a bridge that's being destroyed, because you have to take out these, like, tanks or whatever. And, again, it looks fine. You're just kind of running through the bridge. You're smashing guys up. They're like these sections where, like, they're like these really obvious trucks that you have to jump onto, where you jump onto the truck and then you jump forward to get over gaps. But again, like much like with Iron Man, if I want to play as the Hulk, I want to have a big open area. Like it would be amazing to have like imagine like playing through the Chitauri invasion, and you're playing as the Hulk, and you're able to like jump up onto buildings and leap forward and have like really comparable enemies for Hulk to fight. I don't know, something like that. Like I want a big open area where I can just be the Hulk and run around and smash things. It didn't look very fun, going through this like highway with the Hulk. So, yeah, I would say the Hulk is probably the most disappointing gameplay reveal. But, you get through the Hulk, and then it switches over to Captain America. And honestly, to be honest, I think Captain America might be the most fun. Probably him or Black Widow, which I'll get to later. But yeah, Captain America actually looked fun. Like it was a bit more fast paced, I thought. You can throw your shield. You can block stuff. The third person action sort of gameplay that's confined to a corridor, or confined to like a certain area, like that actually works for someone like Captain America or Black Widow. It's more like when it comes to like guys like Iron Man and Hulk, and even Thor to a certain extent, because he can't fly. But it definitely works better for Thor. It works more for Thor than Captain America or the Hulk, or sorry, Iron Man or the Hulk. Oh my god, I can't even talk. But yeah, with Captain America, it definitely works great. It looks fun. It actually does look fun. Yeah, so you're just kind of in this area, and it looks like Captain America like infiltrated the ship or whatever, and he's just fighting a bunch of guys, and it actually looks pretty fun. And then it kind of switches over to Black Widow, and Black Widow basically has a boss fight with Taskmaster. And this again, like much like with Captain America, the sort of gameplay that they're going for actually like works really well with Black Widow. It looks fast paced. The boss fight was pretty cool. I mean, there are some like quick time events that I know people hate quick time events, but I don't really have that much of a problem with them. Like there are just certain things that you're not going to be able to do with gameplay, and it progresses the the fight to different areas and different directions. So I'm personally fine with quick time events. But yeah, we get some Black Widow gameplay. It looks fast paced. The Taskmaster, it looked like a pretty fun boss fight, right? You're fighting Taskmaster, and Taskmaster is learning her moves as Taskmaster does, and then you turn invisible, and you beat him. And yeah, and but getting to like the boss fight itself, it looked pretty fun. Like you kind of punch on him a bit, and then he has certain attacks, like he'll like charge at you with a sword, and then you kind of have to dodge out of the way. He has like a jetpack as well, so they're at the beginning of the fight, you kind of have to like shoot at him and then dodge out of the way as he comes at you, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It looked that boss fight actually did look pretty fun, but and then basically that's basically it for the gameplay, and it looks fine, but again, my main fear for this would be that having to make gameplay or a game with gameplay that works for everybody for all these different characters, just doesn't look like they really nailed any of them. So like I still kind of feel the same way in that I would have much rather them have just had Marvel or look. Much rather would have had Marvel had Square Enix make a Thor game, have them make a Hulk game, have them make an Iron Man game, have them make a Captain America game, or have them make a Black Widow game. Like just pick a character and stick with it. And I mean, even Rocksteady, like in their Batman games, like yes, you can play as Nightwing and Robin and Catwoman and even Harley Quinn. Like yeah, you can play as them, but like those characters are like they like it does. It's fine that they ultimately play like similarly to Batman. Like you can still have the same type of gameplay. You know what I'm saying? But no, like you kind of need different gameplay for Hulk and Iron Man and Thor and Captain America and Black Widow. Like no, they can't just play the same. And so it's just they were. It just doesn't look like it looks like they're trying to balance all of that, but it doesn't. In doing so, it doesn't look like they're nailing any of them. So yeah, and I mean those aren't even the only characters that you're going to be able to play as because when you go to the E3 presentation, you're at the end they tease Ant-Man, and in this gameplay demo, when it goes to cutscenes, they tease Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. I think her name is Kamala Khan. So like it looks like there are going to be a bunch of different heroes that you're going to be able to play as in this game, which sounds cool in theory, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be. It just doesn't look like they're really gonna nail any one particular character's gameplay, which is ultimately what I'm disappointed by. But all that being said, it still does look fun. It just doesn't look amazing, right? Like it just doesn't. It doesn't look like this incredible, 10 out of 10 game that like a Rocksteady Batman game is, or that Insomniac Spider-Man game was. I haven't played Insomniac Spider-Man game either because I don't have a PS4, but everybody says it's amazing, and from what I've seen of it, it does look amazing. So it doesn't look like this game is going to be that. But I should mention as well that it also does look like this. That it does also look like as well that this is sort of like the intro or the tutorial stage. So who knows? Maybe the game will open up more, and sort of my complaints with like Iron Man and Hulk, maybe those will be addressed. Like maybe Iron Man will be able to fly around, and maybe Hulk you will have like a really giant city that you can go through and play in. Maybe that is going to be the case. And if so, then I will eat my words, and maybe it'll be cool. But even if that was the case, again, it still doesn't look like it. Like, even with, like, Captain America and, like, Black Widow, who I think those look like the most fun, it still didn't look amazing or anything like that. But who knows? Who knows where all of this will lead? I hope this game is great. And with this gameplay presentation, it basically leaves me thinking that I think this will be a fun game. I think it'll be a good time. I just don't think it's going to be the 10 out of 10, incredible experience that I want out of a superhero game. But who knows? Who the flippity dippity dip knows? But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think this game looks amazing? Do you think it looks terrible? Let me know in the comments below, and bye.